And welcome back. Another episode on the HermitCraft server. And as you can see, I've been kind of busy here in the end. You see, I came out here to harvest the obsidian out of several of these towers out here, and I've hacked down, I think, 3 of them so far, and it's got me a fair amount of obsidian. And it occurred to me very early on that I needed to light the place up, because these guys show up too much. And so I got about, I think, 6 or 7 stacks of torches, and I started putting down a torch every 5 blocks grid throughout the whole place. And I've got it, I'd say, about a little over 50, maybe 60% done. And you see, there's the thing about Endermen. They may teleport just about almost anywhere where there's room for them, but they don't spawn unless they're in a low enough light level. 7 or below, just like regular hostile mobs. And so, by getting the entire end lit up, including the tops of a lot of these obsidian towers, they have fewer places to spawn. And when they do spawn, it's off over there in the shadows, and then they'll wander a bit. I think some just spawned in there, and so on. So I'm going to continue working on this light up the end thing, because really in the end, the only place you want Enderman to spawn is inside the Ender, which is off that way some ways. Everything else really should be lit up enough to keep them from spawning anywhere else, because if they only spawn in the Ender, they'll spawn faster in there. At least that's my reasonable working theory. And now, having done all of this, let's whack this guy one. And I have come up with a fair amount of obsidian. And now it's time to head back and put that stuff to use. Okay, and since I'm here, I might as well stop in here and harvest my nether warts. And I have found that if I use my Fortune 4 pick to do the harvesting, I do get a noticeably larger number of nether warts for that. So that's good. Now I need to head down to my track. I'm going to stop and drop off these nether warts in the brewing area. Head down to the track and then ride out to the construction zone and get some stuff done. Alright. Drive back here. Grab some torches because I am kind of out. And then head up topside to the work area, and we'll see about getting some of these portals put together. Now, I realize that this thing is going to be nerfed somewhat by the 1.8 version and in the snapshots that come out, and that's okay. It can still be quite useful. It's just going to mean that I will have to arrange to use a looting 3 sword to do the killing when it becomes time to actually harvest the gold out of these guys. But on the other hand, gold farm is not the limit of what this thing is going to be. Oops, I don't need that. I need this. Alright. Now, Actually, I should get some cobble and build these outer walls up, say, 2 blocks from the water to make sure that nothing in the streams can get out. So I'm going to get a little more cobble and I'll come back and do that, and then we'll get these portals built. Okay, walls installed and blocks here positioned was the starter of the portals. 23 by 23, so 23 across, and then 23 up each side, and the same thing across the top. Okay, there's 23. And then put 21, because that counts as 1, and the one on top counts as 1, so that should do that. And then 22 from here all the way back. And then when I get done with this, I need to light it up to make sure that it works. And once I've got that down, then it's just a matter of duplicating it as many times as I have room for. Okay, now I need a little bit of space. That's not quite what I had in mind. But it'll serve. Okay. Now, I don't suppose I have a... Of course I don't. Alright, now let's go light this thing up and make sure it works. If it does, duplicate it on each of these pedestal blocks here. They're positioned to show where it's all supposed to go. Okay, it works. And now I'm going to break this block out and turn it off because I don't want it working just yet. And now, to duplicate this as many times as I have room for. Alright. Took quite a while to get them all finished up, but the portals are all completed now. And while I do want to go back in here and put down trapdoors, kind of as a fine touch to make sure that the mobs that spawn here will be willing to walk off the edge, I don't think that it's going to be essential right away. So I'm going to go ahead and get these things lit up. And get this thing in gear. I've taken the precaution of turning my sounds down ahead of time, so hopefully the sound of all those portals is not overwhelming. In any event, I'll get a away from them a little ways. I think that looks cool as all get out, to be honest with you. And I've got torches set up on top of them, because for the time being I don't want any mobs spawning on top. It's entirely possible that at some point I may build a second set on top of these, just to increase production. But that's not right now. And we have our first guest. How about that? Okay, and we've got nothing here, nothing in any of those, but the filters are all set up. Alright. So now, and by the way, I estimated my amount of obsidian pretty closely. I had 3 left. I'm going to head up onto the observation deck here. Maybe I should have gone ahead and put in those trapdoors. These guys aren't walking off the edge. They're all just standing there. Yeah. So, my next objective is to gather up a whole bunch of wood and make the trapdoors so that these guys will walk off the edge. Alright, that means I'm off to collect a bunch of wood. Alright, as you can see, we have a fairly steady stream of guests arriving at our little portal and trapdoor party. So let's head downstairs and have a look. See how this is working out. Now, I have not turned on the clock unit for the automatic crusher yet. But we've got a bunch of these guys here. Some of them are glitching through the blocks like crazy. Really wish they'd fix that. And near as I can tell, there is 80 some of these guys in here. So, let's head over here. You can see what I mean by some bits get thrown out there occasionally. I'm going to have to extend the coverage of hoppers to catch all of that, although there will have only been 8 lost. Meanwhile, let's see. I've got 18 nuggets in here. I forget what this one is filtering. Okay. Gold ingots, which means that will only catch it if I am killing them myself. And let's see. This one's set up for feathers for the occasional chicken jockey that comes through. And that one's not set up for anything. Or at least nothing has come through. What's it set up for? Tell you. Okay, raw chicken. I didn't have any more raw chicken to put in the system to check it. But I'm fairly confident that will happen all by itself fairly soon. Music to my ears. Seems to be working very nicely. With little bits of stuff thrown out occasionally. Not sure if there's any way to prevent that or not, but that's alright. The bulk of it is going in where it needs to be, and I'm collecting gold. Alright. Now, I'm going to take a little while and I'm going to AFK in this neighborhood and see how this thing performs. Alright, I've done the AFK thing for about a half an hour or so, and starting to get a decent amount of gold nuggets in here. Haven't picked up anything else except, of course, for zombie flesh. And one creeper that fell in because it spawned on top and when I was up there building it before. And it tried to walk over towards me and walked off the edge. Alright, now further development on this setup here is going to involve a number of things, both farms, like as in food, wheat, various other things that I can plant and harvest with a stream of water, and then direct the water stream into the item intake flow on this thing, and then add that to the sorting mechanism. And at some point, hopefully soon, some kind of a mob tower so that I can collect mob drops here as well. But for right now, and I realize this is a shorter than usual episode, I am going to call it a night and see if I can hopefully avoid coming down with the flu, which it really feels like I am. So, thanks for watching. Take it easy. I'm out of here.